Hello, everyone. My name is Juliana. I'm Devra at NodeOps, and welcome back to another episode of Tinker Tuesday and Thursday, which used to be at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time because I'm streaming from New York City, but we just had daylight saving, so now it's 9 p.m. EST. So today will just be 1 hour long because it goes into 10 p.m., which is kind of late. Oh, hey, Kanzi. So good to have you back. So it's going to be only 1 hour long, but we have a very, very exciting day today. Instead of going into our Marie Kondo app, which I know we've been doing great stuff with, we're actually going to divert into a very quick tool that was launched last Wednesday, and it got a lot of hype on Twitter. It's called Google Workspace CLI, and it's kind of a wrapper or plugin to automate anything you do with Google. Actually, this is going to tie in really well with our Marie Kondo app. Hey, Richard. So today's agenda is going to be largely using OpenClaw. I know in the last few streams I've played with OpenClaw on NodeOps, which has been really cool, but today we're going to do it a little bit differently. I actually have it set up on my computer, the one I'm streaming from right now. And I'm going to connect it to Google Workspace CLI, and we are going to do exactly what Marie Kondo was made to do, which is to clean my emails, unsubscribe, and to triage my emails as they come in. We're going to do all that today within 1 hour. And yeah, we're going to have some fun. So yeah, absolutely, Kanzi, definitely. Google's really fun. Just to reiterate, Tinker Tuesdays is time for us to play with technology. It is meant to be fun. There's no agenda usually, and I'm always open to exploring new technology. So if there's something new you want me to try, send a DM. Tweet me on Twitter. So without further ado, I'm going to take you into my desktop. All right. So I made myself a little bit smaller today so you guys don't have to see my giant face. Again, this is Tinkering Tuesday and Thursday. I have to change this. This is actually supposed to be 9 p.m. now. And my Twitter is jnodeops. You can follow me. I don't tweet that much, but you can definitely DM me with any new tech that you want me to try out. So today's agenda is going to be Google Workspace CLI and OpenClaw. I'll go through installing it on my machine right now. We're not going to use NodeOps anymore. And then I'm going to talk a little bit about GOG. There's a difference between these two. A lot of people confuse these two because they're both made by Google and they essentially do the same thing, but I'll talk about that. And there's a tutorial found, which I haven't tried yet, but I'm down to try it with you guys. And then we'll try, performing Marie Kondo things with it, I guess. Yeah, that's the idea. And then next time, we'll continue with our Marie Kondo app. And the idea was to Dockerize it, which is very easy. This will probably take 10 minutes. And then we're going to templatize it, which is another 10 minutes. And then if we have time, after Dockerizing and templatizing it and submitting it to NodeOps to make money, then we can look into Instagram ads. So I was Googling this a little bit. If we do Instagram ads, we apparently need a professional Instagram account, which is very easy. I already have one set up. That's kind of like my fake account. Hey, Mr. Block, it's good to have you back too. I have one set up. We can play around with it. I'm happy to put a little bit of money in it to see what it's like to set up Instagram ads and see if we can get someone clicking on our app. So this is the plan. It's 9:04 now, so we have 50 minutes to do this. You guys ready? I'm giving you guys a thumbs up. All right, I will get started. First things first, you guys already know about OpenClaw, but I will quickly go through it really quick. This has been like, look at how many stars there are, 298,000 stars. I don't think I've seen this many stars ever on a repo with this many forks. So this is the AI agent people have been playing with, trying to figure out how to make it useful. And I think the most useful part of it is connecting it to Google. So let's go back to Google Workspace CLI. This has been very hot on Twitter. So look, 18.2 stars on GitHub. Let me make this bigger. with this many forks. Hi, Vilebert. Good to see you. So it's been very attractive for something that was released by Google last Wednesday, and it kind of blew up on Twitter. And I'll show you, I've already got it installed, so let me show you what it did. Before I get started, I also made a tutorial, so you guys don't actually have to watch me. You can go to nodeops.network and go into docs, go under integrations on the left and click on Google Workspace CLI. I made this over the weekend. It has step-by-step instructions on how to get started on your machine, assuming you have a Unix-based machine like me. I'm running on a Mac. You can npm install it and then run these commands. I have really helpful videos. So I already have it set up on my machine, so I'm going to show you what it does. It does some really cool things. First of all, it's attached to the Google account that you have set up. I've got it set up with one of my fake accounts. Let me show you which one it is. It's not really a fake account. I kind of made it just for bots, kind of to collect spam. You know, we all have like an extra email address. This is the one that's for me. Hey, Mayor. Hey, TFK. And so with this account, I have a couple of, these are all like, spam that I've caught up through the years. And this is my drive. I made these two accounts. There's only two files here. I made these two files using the command line, just my command line. And I'll show you how to do that. So what I did was I just used this command here. This command will return how many files you have. This command will send an email to you. So let's try this one actually. Let me show you my email first. Right, we saw it. It was cute, it was purple or pink, and the last thing I have is like an Instagram email. So let me go copy that command. This one, copy. And then I go into my command line where I already have it installed. It's a global thing, and then I'm gonna paste my command here. So my command is very simple. Sorry, it's so messy. Here, let me do it again. All right, so the command is very simple. GWS Gmail send to, and I'm going to send it to anybody's email. I can actually just send it to myself with a subject. And the subject can be like, I've set it to from terminal. I can also say like from Tinker Tuesday terminal with whatever I want in the body. Hello from the terminal. Happy Tinker Tuesday. Hit enter. And so it was sent. Now I can go into my Gmail, take a look at it and see if it came in, do a quick refresh, and bam, there it is. That's my new email. I just sent this to myself directly from the terminal. What's powerful about this is that, hey DWTC, lots of new people today, welcome. What's cool about this is that now I can attach it to OpenClaw, and OpenClaw is able to send emails for me. In fact, OpenClaw would have access to all of my emails, including how many look like promo, they look like spam, they can start unsubscribing things for me. So pairing Google Workspace with OpenClaw makes a lot of sense, right? Let me show you one more cool thing. I told you I can create files, not just emails, right? I can also come in here. Hey DWTC, I'm glad you're sending a smiley face. Where is it? Auth, drive. Oh, here we go. There it is. You can also programmatically create spreadsheets. This is so useful because if you were trying to, let's say, you pass in a JSON object. So let's say you scraped a bunch of data, or you ran some commands, or you had some whatever, and you just needed a spreadsheet. You can actually programmatically create a spreadsheet like this. So we can do it in the command line. I'll show you. I just copied it. I'm going to paste and then pass in this JSON object with the title. We can call it like Q1 budget Tinker Tuesday. Hit enter. And now it's going to create a spreadsheet from inside my Google Docs. Hi, my boy. Hello, Chrissy Basie, R3U, GMGM. So it's created a new document. I'm going to open it for you. It's got the URL, and there it is. Q1 Budget Tinker Tuesday, and I can actually show you that there is a new file. Previously, there were only 2, now there's 3. So now that I've demonstrated what the command line does, now we're going to attach it to OpenClaw. Now I'm going to switch you over to OpenClaw. So really cool stuff, right? I'm going to talk about one more thing before we finish OpenClaw. Hi, Lekin. Gino. I'm going to talk about GOG. Every time you go to OpenClaw, it's going to ask, do you want to install GOG? GOG is Google's tool in your terminal, and it's easy to confuse the two because they're both from Google. They both work with the Google Workspace. The only way I can explain it is that GOG is the binary that runs under the hood. So this is the command line that the Google Workspace command line is actually using. So there's 2 different things. GOG is the binary, and the Workspace command line is kind of the wrapper. So what I did was I went to OpenClaw, and I told OpenClaw to download Google Workspace command line, and then Claw was like, you actually need GOG first. So it checked for GOG, made sure that was installed, and then installed Google Workspace command line. We're gonna do all this together, by the way, and it was like really fast. I'm pretty sure we can do this in the next like 15 minutes. I'm just explaining what's happening under the hood. So basically they're same, but you do need both to do what we're doing today. Okay, is that clear? You guys can totally ask questions as we go on. Hi, Fedosky, cool name. I also found this tutorial. I like going through tutorials, especially because this thing is so new. All the tutorials I've found are only from like 6 days ago. This literally came out, I think, Wednesday. GM, Effie, GM, how's it going? Good to see you. So all the tutorials, if you type in, Google Workspace CLI or how to install this, you will see that like everything's from like 6 days ago, 5 days ago, 4 days ago from LinkedIn. It's so very, very new. It's a game changer for AI agents. So that's why today we are doing an emergency stream, and we're going to talk about Google Workspace CLI. It's fun, it's exciting, and there's a lot of things you can do with it. And I wanted to I spent the weekend playing with it, so I want to at least show you guys so you guys don't have to spend so much time yourself, give you a little bit of knowledge. So anyway, I found this one and I thought it was pretty decent. That's why I wanted to try it out with you today. I'll take you as far as I've gotten, but then there's stuff that this tutorial I did not play with yet. So yeah, this is it. It's called API Dog. Someone published it 6 days ago. You see, these are the commands we're able to do. We can create like a GWS calendar invite. We can create, upload, and download files. So these are all things we can do. The next step is to connect it to Claw. All right. I think that's a good beginner. That's a good like baseline for everyone. Now I'm going to take you guys into OpenClaw. Is everybody ready? Okay, cool. All right, let's go to OpenClaw. So here is the GitHub repo. And instead of using a virtual server, I just decided this time I'm going to download it directly onto my machine. So I did it by copying this command. After it was installed, I ran this command. I'll do both for you, even though it's already been installed. Yes, thank you, Kanzi, for responding. All right, I'm going to take you back into my terminal. We're going to clear it off, and then I'm going to paste the installation command. So npm install -g for global OpenClaw latest. I'm going to hit enter. Yes, thank you, John, for responding. So it's going to install. Remember, I already have it running, so I actually don't know how it's going to react. It may just come back and say I already found a version. And then I'm going to run this command, OpenClaw onboard, install daemon. Okay, cool. It has been installed. Now I'm going to paste the next command, OpenClaw onboard install daemon. Okay. As standard, it gives you a ton of warnings and says, hey, this is kind of not freshly, not finished baking, so there may be some security flaws. Do you want to take that risk? I'm going to say yes, because this is for you guys. And I'm going to select quick start. And it already has a setting for me because I've already done this, but I'm going to do this again for you. So I'm going to hit update values. And now I'm going to select the model that I want to use. So previously in all of my streams, I've been using Anthropic Claude. That's exactly what we're going to do today. I'm going to select Anthropic, and I'm going to select API key. I'm going to paste the API key. And now I'm going to grab my API key. I have it saved over here. Copy. And then paste. Okay. All right. And then I choose the model. I'm just going to keep the default. Now I'm going to select which channel I want to link it with. We have the options of Telegram, WhatsApp, Discord, etc. I just choose Telegram. And I'm going to click Modify Settings because I want to show you guys what it looks like. It's asking for the Telegram bot. Hit Enter. And now I grab my Telegram bot. We talked about this last time when we created a bot together. You go to Botfather. Botfather is a tool that's built into Telegram. And I've created a bot called Flora, and this is the token that it comes with. If you guys don't know how to do this, it's very simple. You just go to Botfather and you start talking to it. You tell it that you want a new agent, and you will easily get to this page. Don't worry, it's very easy. Hello, Emo Alex. Oh, I'm Alex, right? Good to have you here. I've got my Telegram bot. Now I'm going to hit paste. That is my bot token. Hit enter. And what does it say? Allow from sudo bang bang is my username. At. Cool. Could not resolve. Numeric user ID. Allow from all. What is my numeric user ID? Settings. Let me ask Google real quick. What's my Telegram numeric user ID? What? It didn't ask me this last time. I don't know what my user ID is. Let me go back. Telegram allow from numeric. Your TG user ID is your at. Yeah, that's exactly what I typed in. You saw me. I typed in at sudo bang bang, which is my TG ID, and was not able to resolve it. So that's weird. That's me. Due to security updates, it's highly recommended to use numeric IDs for better authorization or usernames. Usernames resolved. Weird. What is my user ID? All right, I think I'm going to cheat a little bit. Let me go find it. Maybe it's here. What's my user ID? Hmm. Okay, I guess there's no way around it because I had this set up before, but I'm seeing here that the Telegram does not have an allow list. See, it's empty down here. So I don't see another way around it. Let me get my Telegram user ID. User ID, numeric. All right, here we go. It tells me to DMM this bot. User info bot. Okay, that's my number. Apparently, I just DM'd this bot called user info bot and it returns my user ID. Okay, I'm gonna paste my number. Boom, that worked. All right, moving on. That was a nice little detour. Search providers. Under search providers, you have a few different options. I looked at all of them and they all require an API key and they all cost money. So I went ahead and hit skip. I think in the future, if you wanted to get started, you do need to set up like one of these with your credit card. I just skipped it. Yeah. Now it's asking, do you want to configure your skills now? I hit yes. So here's where we select. Under the skills, there's a lot more skills than this. Under the skills, I'm going to set up GOG. Looks like I already did. So it's not on this list anymore. So we can ignore it. Yeah, it was kind of a cool detour. You're welcome. The thing I need is not here. So I'm just going to go ahead and hit enter. I need at least one. All right, let's do... That's annoying. Let me skip for now. And then there's going to be a series of these questions where it says, do you have the API key for, Go Places? I said Google Places. No, we don't have the API key for that. We don't have the API key for Nano Pro. We don't have the API key for Notion. We don't have the API key for OpenAI. We don't have Whisper API. We don't have 11 Labs. And it's going to ask, do you want to set up hooks? I went ahead and skipped it. But you could do this. You can change it later. There's some more reading for you if you want to learn more about hooks. And we're towards the end now. The only reason I'm getting this is because I already had a version of OpenClaw running before I started the stream. So it's going to ask if I want to restart. So let's... Did I do anything different this time? Yeah, let's restart because I didn't do the Telegram user ID last time. All right, so as it's restarting, it's going to return a couple of URIs. There it is. There it is, the URIs. So it's going to have a web UI and a terminal UI. You can chat with it through the web UI, the terminal UI, and through the Telegram bots. Let me show you what that looks like. Let me open the web UI first. So this is what it looks like. I've already been chatting with it. This is what we were looking at before. And let me show you the terminal UI. And there it is. So we're right here in the terminal. We can literally right here, it's responding, hey, Juliana, we were in the middle of something, blah, blah, blah. You asked me to label and unsubscribe from emails. So it was in the middle of doing something exactly that I wanted when I started the live stream. But let me show you real quick how I went about installing Google Workspace CLI. It was very easy. All I said was, we can go into my chat history. Right here. This was my first message to it. I said, call me Juliana. Sorry if you can see this. I said, call me Juliana, and we are going to install the Google Workspace CLI skill. As soon as I said that, you can chat with it right here. It went ahead and installed it for me. It installed GOG, G-O-G, what we just talked about. And then it installed the actual command. Where is it? Here. It gave me this set of directions. From here, we do exactly what we did in our last stream. We went to Google Cloud Console and we generated that JSON object, the one with like the client secret, the client ID. You just create like a project under Google Cloud Console until you get to this JSON. Once you have that JSON, you just you run this command and point it to where that file is sitting. I just downloaded the JSON. I can show you what that looks like. It was right here. That's the JSON. And I ran the command for where it was sitting. And then I ran this command, which is Google auth add my fake email address, and then the services that I wanted to use, which was Gmail and Drive. So I didn't do all of 5. I just did 2 of these options. So yeah, you can see what I said here. I pointed it to where the JSON is installed under downloads. And then I ran this command using only Gmail and Drive. Let me know if I'm going too fast, by the way. And then once it was done, it gave me this URI. So I opened it. And basically, this is OAuth. I sign in as myself. This is signing into the Marie Kondo app. Hit continue and blah, blah, blah. This one's already been done, so I can't reuse it anymore. But this is the URL you get. And it authorizes the app to use your Gmail. Yeah? Okay. So from here on out, you're pretty much complete with the setup. Workspace CLI OpenClaw is already done. Thank you, Kanzi. I know you guys are hella smart, so you guys are totally following. 100% right. Thank you, Fedosky. Thank you for the feedback. Okay. So at this point, you have pretty much both of those working. We're looking at OpenClaw. We're talking to it. We can literally run anything from Google directly from in here. Sorry, there's just a lot of... This UI captures all of it. The same thing also happens under the TUI, and then you can also talk to it through Telegram. So the bot that I used was... Where's my bot? This one, Ask Florbot. The very thing that I'm talking to it, I can also do here. I can say, hey, can you... what do we want to do? Can you tell me how many unread emails I have? How much of it is deletable? Wait, can you tell me how many of my emails are deletable? Wait, how many of my emails look like they're useless? Let's go with that. So did you guys see that? I just hit enter and I got this pop-up here. And it's asking for my password, for the keychain password. This only happens on the Mac. And at first it looks a little bit scary, but that's because GOG wants to use to run a command. Remember, like OpenClaw is running on my machine. So I'm going to type in my password. Instead of clicking always allow, I'm just going to hit allow one time because I do want it to ask me permission each time. I don't want to give it like pseudo privileges all across my machine. So I'm just going to type my password every time and hit allow. This is my one protection, okay, for running this on my own machine. So I just ran it. Let me take a look at the GUI. Cool. Let's see how it responds. Oh, it's asking for the password again. That's good. Oh, I don't mind asking. I don't mind typing it again. Okay, we have a response. It's quite long. So Flora/OpenClaw bot said, I have 29 emails that are clearly useless. Some from Instagram, some from Zoom, some that are borderline spam, and stuff that needs my attention. So the next step is I can probably like just say, hey, can you label these? Now we're getting into like functional territory. I can tell OpenClaw to do this every day. I can tell OpenClaw to like start unsubscribing from my emails. So yeah, let's give it a shot. This is exactly what we built Marie Kondo to be able to do, but now we're doing it with OpenClaw. So I'm gonna say, can you label? Do you guys prefer to look at Telegram or over here? They essentially all do the same thing, if it's easier for you. Okay, well, I guess I'll stay in Telegram. It just looks so small. Okay, so I'm gonna ask, can you label the useless ones and borderline spam so we can later automate daily unsubscribe and deletes. I don't know if that makes sense. Can you label the useless and borderline spam emails so we can automate daily unsubscribe and deletes? Let's see what it does. By the way, I didn't go too much about how OpenClaw works under the hood and how it automates things. It's essentially a variable that's set up under the hood when you install it. We can go into it, you can change it. It's pretty much a cron job that's happening under the hood. Every time you give it like this daily task, it puts it under a cron job and runs it whenever you want it to do it. It has a heartbeat. All right, perfect, it's working. So it's asking me for my password again. Bam. Password again, bam. Password again, bam. Cool, it's doing its thing. If you guys are able to read it, password again, bam. I'm gonna have to type this many, many times. It's running a lot right now. Looks like what it's doing is password again, bam. It is batch modifying, it's creating labels. It has created the labels called auto delete and unsubscribe. It took all of my Instagram and Zoom and put it under auto delete and all the NodeUp credits as unsubscribe. Looks like it did the job. It created 2 labels, and then it created 2 daily jobs, a daily delete job and a daily unsubscribe job. And then ask, both can be run via a cron job here. Want me to set that up? Yes, that's awesome. Yes, please set up the cron job. Thanks. Thank you. Oh, it also asked me, do I want to set up a Gmail filter that auto labels future emails so they never clog up my inbox again? Okay, yes. Also set up the auto labels. Thanks. After this, we're gonna go into my Gmail and see if it actually did what it said it did. For sure. But after we've set up the cron job. Okay, Password, bam. Password, bam. Wow, it just deleted 36 emails. All right, let's take a look at what it's doing. I'm starting to get a little bit nervous. So we were looking over here. Oh, wow, that's amazing. Look over here. There's 2 labels here that were not here before called auto delete and unsubscribe. And let me check my trash real quick. Honestly, I can't tell if it just deleted these. Let me check again. Okay. It says it just deleted 36 emails. It set up a daily cron job. There's going to be a Gmail filter, permanent going forward. All my Instagram emails are going to go into auto delete, Zoom promos, and Note Up credits. Every day at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, it will search for everything under these 2 labels. It will delete them. And then it will text me on Telegram every morning. That's super cool, actually. It just deleted 36 emails. And it says the only thing it doesn't do is actually unsubscribe from the source, which is harder to automate reliably since unsubscribe links vary. Okay, I don't need unsubscribe. I can just block. First, I'm going to ask, which of the 36 emails did you move to trash? And instead of unsubscribing, can you block the email? So I'm showing you guys one simple use case for what this bot's able to do, but you can imagine like you now have access to the entire Google suite. You can create documents, Excel sheets, emails. You are almost like a human being, kind of, if that makes sense. Like you can now automate a lot of the data that you're doing with OpenClaw and GOG, which is kind of powerful. Now, I'm working with small email here with only 33 inboxes, but you can imagine if I had 9,000 or more emails, this would be incredibly helpful. So yeah, maybe we'll open up the chat a little bit while I'm going through this. Why don't you guys like think of some things that you think would be cool to build, knowing now what Google Workspace CLI can do with OpenClaw. Oh, I deleted this one on March 5th. Let me check my trash. March 5th. Yeah, here it is. It did delete it. Cool. Oh, that's awesome. Quick clap. It is all functional. We have a cron job going. It is completely automated. Every day it will check my email and clean it up for me. Anyone have any questions? All right. So we've gone through the first two. We even did some Marie Kondo things with it. I'm just going to scroll through this tutorial to see if there's anything we are missing. So far, I've taken you to as far as I've gotten with OpenClaw and the Workspace CLI, and we've created an app/automated task with OpenClaw. As long as my machine is open, my laptop is open, and it will run this cron job at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time every single day. And it will text message you when it's done it. How about this? Let's ask because you remember seeing that I only have like 3 files under Google Drive. So let me ask, like, what files in Google Drive do I have? Oh, wow. I just went through this entire tutorial, and it actually doesn't do as good of a job as what I just did. So you're welcome. I actually took you through OpenClaw, and this tutorial doesn't talk about it. It really just talks about Google Workspace CLI and gives you a bunch of commands on what you can do. Okay, thank you, API dog. Aha, you see, I asked what files in Google Drive do I have, and it returned the exact 3 documents that we have, all of which that I've created through the terminal, one of which I did in front of you guys. Okay. I think we have, 15 minutes left. I can go into more technical things if you guys don't have any suggestions of what you want to see. I can show you what Google Workspace is able to do and how to figure out what it's able to do. Does that sound good? So I looked into the API a little bit, like what is it able to do? Like literally tell me what it does, you know? And let me show you where it is. Where is it? Okay, I don't need to show you there. Let me show you through the terminal. All right, so Google Workspace GWS, this is you can do GWS -- help, and it will return some helpful stuff. I'll walk you through what matters and what doesn't. So GWS -- help is the starting point for what's happening under the hood. Every time you tell your agent to do something, it is using this command, GWS blah, 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 which under the hood is using GOG. So what matters to you as a human being as you're building apps, you may not know what you're capable of doing. So this is what's going to give you, this is what's going to show you what GWS is able to do. So you do -- help, and these are the things it's able to do. The services. It can go into Drive, manage your files, folders, and share Drive. It can go into Sheets. You can read and write spreadsheets. You can go into Gmail. You can send, read, and manage your email. That's the one we just did. We used these 3, but it can do slides, or chats, forms, keep, meets, all this other stuff. I think what's important for you to see is how to use it. Let me show you. Okay. I don't think you need to see this whole usage part. You essentially just use the first part, and the schema is only if you're like sending a specific object to it. And I've used this before. I don't think it's absolutely necessary. It kind of looks like this. But you most likely will be using examples that look like these four. GWS drive, blah, blah, blah. You can try these right now, by the way. You don't even have to set up OpenClaw. You can try GWS separately. I'm doing this outside of OpenClaw. So you can copy one of these, and what else can I do? Sorry, flags, we can ignore that. Okay, let me show you. GWS, for example, we wanted to do something with, I don't know, calendar. GWS calendar. We can do GWS calendar -- help if we don't know how to use it. And it returns everything you can do with calendar. Did you guys see that? All right, so these are the commands right here. I can do insert, so GWS calendar plus insert, all right? And you don't know what to do next, so you do -- help. And it tells you what you can do next, which is all these options. You can hit, it gives you this usage right here. So GWS calendar plus insert, and then what's required is summary. So let's call it, I don't know, Tinker Tuesday with a start time. This is the unknown. If it's start time, then maybe, because we use time zones now, we want to start it on March 03. Let's say tomorrow, so 11th. And it should end at tomorrow, the 12th. Okay, so I think for the most part, that matches exactly what we're looking for. We hit enter, and it said, oh, this is a very good error to have. We got a 403, and that's because for the API, I did not enable calendar. Let me show you how to do that. But you understand what I'm doing here, right? Every time you want to use GWS, you do GWS -- help. And then you pick the service that you want to do. I've only enabled Drive, Sheet, and Gmail. That's it. So that's why I can create sheets. I can create stuff on the Drive. I can do GWS Drive -- help. And I can do upload plus upload -- help. Oh, Kanzi responded. Thank you. Lovely message. Kanzi said we can build a tech alpha scanner by using the Google CLI to query big queries. That's a good idea. Specifically, GitHub's archive or Hacker News datasets, you can catch new repositories and tools. Yes. Can you imagine how much tokens you would use if you built this out? But this is awesome. Now you're programmatically scraping so much data so quickly, and in like a day or two, you can have like alpha so quickly. That's a really good idea. And you can put it all into like actionable steps, like a cron job. So it can text you through Telegram or just create like a spreadsheet for you that you can check and then email it to you. How cool is that? I just had an idea. You can create a newsletter. Think about that for a second. You can create newsletters. Subscribe to my newsletter. You can get some custom information, like find a niche where you can grab a whole bunch of data, create a newsletter, and just like email. Yeah. Anyway, that's an idea. That's a good idea. Thank you, Kanzi. You're getting my juices running. So GWS Drive upload help. And yeah, you can enter your file. So remember we went and got the 403? That's because I never enabled the calendar API. Let me show you how to do that. Google Cloud. we've been running off of my project this whole time. Okay, this project is called the Marie Kondo email project, and under API and services, I'm going to click on it, and under APIs, I've only enabled Gmail, Sheets, and Drive. I've not enabled Calendar. So to enable it, I just click Enable API and Services. I type in Calendar. Okay, there's the Calendar API. And then very simple, I just click Enable. In 2 seconds, this will be enabled, and then we will rerun that command that we got a 403 for. All right, it has been enabled. Let's go back into Cursor, rerun the command that gave us a 403 before. Go back up here. This is the one. GWS calendar, insert Tinker Tuesday, start and end time. Hit enter. We're still getting a 403. Sometimes it takes a second to get the insufficient authentication scopes. Let me in. For situations like these, I definitely lean on AI. Oh, okay. Here's what happened. So I apparently enabled it under Google, but I have not enabled it under the command line. Re-authentication. That command one more time. Okay, confirmed not working and confirmed totally enabled. This one. There. I have to run this command GWS auth login, and then I have to run a Drive, Gmail, Sheets, and Calendar. So this authorizes GWS. You guys didn't see this part, but when I install GWS, it gives all of this to me by default. Everything that's an X means that this is what I'm allowing it to do. You can also give it full access, or you can give it only select ones. So now we have calendar checked off. Right, we got calendar. I can see add and remove calendars I'm subscribed to. Perfect. I can see change Google calendars. I can also send emails. What else am I able to do? Drives and spreadsheets. All right, that looks good to me. I'm going to hit enter to confirm. And then it gives me a new URL. This is the bit that we missed out. So with the new URL, I'm going to sign in with my email. Hit continue. Hit continue. This is the thing that we needed. We need to give it permissions for our calendar. Previously, when I hit this URL, it did not include the calendar. Now it does. So that's why I had to re-log in. Now that I've re-logged in, I'm all good. I'm successful. Hopefully now we run this command, it will work. No! Are we seriously still getting a 403 after all of that? Okay. I have 5 more minutes to debug. Oh, do I have to refresh the token? I know this is what I get for trying things new, but this is what it's meant to do. Live stream is meant to screw up. And this is the reality. Like things just don't go smooth when you're out here doing stuff, and you got to get past it. You need that tenacity. Okay, AI is telling me to give it a new token. Let's take a look at this file right here. Cat. Huh? Cat credentials.json. I don't even have this file. Hi, Kushal. Good morning. It's evening here, about 10 p.m. here in New York City. Where are you guys coming from? Cat client secret.json. Wait. Do I need to reinstall that secret? I thought they were all tied together. Oh, FYI, you can have multiple Gmail accounts in here as well. Okay. I'm going to do what AI is telling me to do, which is to remove that file. Let me delete that. Actually, I'm just going to copy it. And now I'm going to remove it. So our client secret.json. You know what? No, let me make a copy of it. Copy client secret to client secret backup.json. So now I have two files, and now I'm going to remove the original. Multiple Gmails here. Yeah, you can. It is nice. It's super easy. You just do like Google Auth and then enter your email. So you can have multiple Gmails all linked into the same command line. All right, I have deleted the client secret. Let me see what happens if I try and run that command again. Thank you, Eddie. You're so sweet. I appreciate nice words. Okay, we have 1 more minute left. Let me make that file again. Secret.json, so it's all back as normal. Well, I have not figured out how I can bring back the calendar command, even though we have already authenticated ourselves. Ideally, the same OAuth consent should be tied to the same client secret, in theory. Yeah, I'm so sorry I had to end on this note. Let me switch over to the main screen. So thank you so much, everybody, for joining me on today's stream. I know it ended on kind of like an unsatisfactory note, but I hope that you got a lot of value from looking at Google Workspace CLI married with OpenClaw, and we were able to automate and do something with it very seamlessly, might I add, with Telegram. And now we know it's every day. It's going to go into my emails. It's going to check for spam, label it, delete it, or block it if I needed to. It was quite easy. All we did was tell it what to do, and it just did it. And we know that we can unlock a lot of features with Google. creating sheets, Google Sheets, Excel sheets, Drive, and sending emails and stuff. So I hope you found a lot of value in it. For next stream, which is on Thursday, we should be back on the usual timeline. If you guys have any other questions with Google Workspace, totally DM me and ask me or tweet me. I'm Jay at NodeOps. And then for the next stream, we'll go back to Marie Kondo app. We'll finish Dockerizing, templatizing it, and then we will explore Instagram ads. So I hope I see you guys again on Thursday. Until then, take care of yourself. Eat well, sleep well. Thank you, Kanzi. Thank you, guys.